Well, I'm just getting underway to go to Delaware today. I was going to go last night, and then I overheard Jason say that it was sweltering hot in Delaware. And I had a bigger lunch. You know, you guys know, I wouldn't really call it a diet because I don't really, it wasn't a necessity to lose the weight. I just wanted to, mostly because I'm a bit of a slob and I want to go to Kentucky and eat pretty good. And I knew that if I got to Kentucky and weighed in at 188, 189, I'd leave there over 190, and that's not a good feeling for me. I don't like being over 190, and this is the time of year where I usually get there. So, for the past 10 days or so, when I was driving, you know, when I was younger, I always wanted to stay around 170, 175, and you started to get up a little heavier, and it was pretty easy. Just eat apples and oranges and bananas, and it would come off. It did. Over the last week, I lost about 10 pounds, 9 or 10 pounds. It wasn't that hard. So I knew that I had a big lunch. It was hot out. I was going to get to Delaware late. And I think that's a key too, right? I always remember somebody telling me never eat over 7 or 8 o'clock. I don't know why. It doesn't really matter. And it stuck with me. So I knew I wouldn't get there till 8 o'clock at night. I would pull into a restaurant, have a couple of drinks, have something to eat, probably a steak. And I had a steak 2 nights before that. 2 nights before now with our veterinarian, Mike Latessa. So I didn't want to overdo it. So I opted to go there today. So sitting here, gonna get a little pulp. You guys remember pulp from my infamous late for the races pulp video? It's right here. I'm gonna get one. There's a big lineup though, so I figured I'd do a video and let it die down. Now, I am gonna finish up the videos on my way to Delaware today, but I did want to bring you some updates. I always feel bad when people message me to say, hey Anthony, like today, I get a message from one of our clients, Sam, great guy. He says, hey, why isn't Jimmy in the Breeders' Championship? I made a couple of videos about it, but I just can't assume everybody sees the videos. So I get up and I texted Sam and I apologized, but you know, we had trained him the other day and decided he wasn't at 100%, and that was the rule. I wasn't taking him to Delaware unless he was at 100%, and he wasn't. So we turned him out. We're turning him out. What we're going to do, because we know there's an OCD in that left hind ankle, we're going to do a full barrage of x-rays on Slim Jimmy, make sure nothing else is going on. And then I know I spoke to the vet the other day and he goes, I don't know if I'd take that OCD out. Well, I saw it. I know it bothers him. From time to time, I know it bugs him. It's coming out. Unless you tell me it should not, and I would definitely not take it out. In this case, I'm going to override the veterinarian and say it is coming out unless you tell me it absolutely shouldn't. And I want to make sure there's nothing else going on also. Maybe an OCD somewhere else. I don't know. So we're going to have a good look at Jimmy. Then when we talk to the veterinarian and we decide the path forward, then we're going to start down that path. Either way, we'll end up with Jimmy in the field for 2 months for sure after his rehab. I mean, this is a horse that really came out of the weeds in June and July and turned a lot of heads in August into September. It kind of fizzled out. Yeah, he did. He wasn't 100%. He blew that wall separation. But that's racing. We're going to have to get over it. I'm almost over it. Apples are helping. I'm almost over it. But it is racing, and Jimmy will bounce back. Bomb Hugger, we made the decision not to race her in freehold. Mark Beckwith trained her, and I called him, and I love talking to Mark because he's a horseman. He's very frank and upfront with everyone. And I said, how was she? He said, pretty good. Pretty good. Her blood's coming. I said, was she sharp? And he goes, she trained pretty good. I said, Mark, was she... Put it this way. I'm going to make it as easy as I can. If you owned her, and she made you $106,000 this year, would you race her in freehold next week? Maybe not. I said, thank you very much. So, Bomb Hugger, again, will bring her back here and turn her out very, very soon. First glance, you guys saw the race the other night. Now, this is just another culmination of this learning process for us. You know, he bled the other night. It's not shocking. This horse run pretty hot all year through the summer in the heat. Not shocking. So, first glance, we'll go on Lasix. We'll go on Lasix soon. And, you know, quite frankly, some of these horses, like Unbeatable Kemp bled in Kentucky his first start, and we were able to treat him up, dry him up, race him off of Lasix, and he never bled afterwards. So there's nothing saying that once they're bleeders, they're bleeders. I don't believe in that, not even in the least bit. But when you're dealing with horses that are going to have to go to the well, First Glance has to race tough every time he races. Maybe it is a good idea to put him on Lasix. So he's on Lasix. Tioga Sunshine, Resolute Bay are going to finish off their season this coming Friday at Grand River. Both of them, you know, they were in the, you know, the bottom prospect series, but you know what? Great exposure for them, great experience for them, and some good racing. They learned a lot this year, and these are two horses that are very well bred, great pedigree, great body builds. They could be any kind of 3-year-olds, and we did right by them this year, and that is very, very important. Unbeatable Kemp races in Kentucky today. I was a little miffed by the way they just moved the stake day around. So and I couldn't drive him now. So Scott Zeron's going to drive him. I just got off the phone with Scotty. We spoke at the Meadows the other day about Unbeatable Kemp in particular. So he's going to drive him. I would say he's going to freehold, but today would be important. If he raced terrible today, that's probably it, right? If he races adequate and Scott said, you know, it just didn't work out, whatever, okay, we'll send him a freehold. We'll see how that works out. I won't have a problem with that at all. What else do we got here? Dio, same thing. She's likely going to freehold. I mean, this is a filly that's still got some racing in her. I was very impressed with the way she trained the other day. I expect she'll have a good final. I am going to race her barefoot tomorrow. Completely barefoot tomorrow in Kentucky. I'm impressed with this filly. I can't wait to see her in freehold also. And then we got Grace. Grace is racing tonight. I just had a quick look where she's sitting. Grace is still 9th. You know, for those last 2 golds, she made a break. She's still 9th overall in the gold points. So any kind of decent trip tonight, and she makes the final. So we're looking at making the final with the gold series with Grace. That was a little out of the, again, and to talk about horses coming out of the weeds, this filly looked incredible last week. You know, I slid home, made a few little changes with her that I thought might help, and you know, she was awesome the other day. James said she was better. You know, James couldn't drive her tonight. Of course, she had to draw in with that killer that James has been driving, or Adara Castle, or Adrian Castle, whatever the hell its name is. It drew the outside, Grace drew 2. She should bust around a half good. I think she'll get a good trip. You know, you still need luck, still need to stay trotting. She stays trotting, has a little racing luck, who knows? But Grace has had a great year, and I can't wait to see her finish off her year in the gold final. Sweet on Pete is racing in Wednesday, and I got a good surprise for you guys too. I forgot to talk about it. I talked about it briefly the other day, but Sweet on Pete is racing in the Breeders. This will be her last start of the year. She trained great. Yesterday I trained her. She was fantastic at Northfield. Perfect record. Trained good. He's coming around. That's exactly what he did last year. Kind of garbage, and then boom, he just showed up. Jason said he went 1.5 miles the other day, last half, 59 seconds. He said he was very, very good. So we've been treating him for EPM a little bit. We did that earlier in the year also. But he says perfect record's ready to rock right now. We'll school him, maybe school him this week. Northern Blizzard, not quite there yet. Jason said he trained him. Now, he's a tough horse to train anyway. Jason said he trained him. Oh, I wasn't here, so it must have been, I don't know, Thursday maybe. He said he trained him, and said he was okay, but he was rough and out of gear, and he was over on the right shaft. I said, yeah, we'll work on Blizzard. We'll get that squared away. I suspect one or two stiff trainings into him, he'll be ready to rock again. 3-point blue chip, also eligible this week, but we took his blood in preparation of this start. There'll be no stone unturned for 3-point blue chip from here till the end of the season. I got, in my periphery, I have some big high hopes for 3-point blue chip, even in 2021. But I'm not going to push him. I'm not going to ask him for more than we need, and I'm not going to ask him to do something he doesn't want to nor can do. So we drew his blood. Weight count was a little bit high. AST was a tiny bit spiked. Not bad. We could have raced him on Tuesday, but I'm glad he's also eligible. Gives us another week to treat him up. We'll train him up hard Thursday or Friday in We'll train him up Thursday or Friday in Mohawk, and then he'll race next Tuesday. What happens after that? We'll see. And then the great news was, yes, is going to be going to Delaware this week. I forgot that I did pay him into it's an open rate. It goes for like 15 or 20 grand or something in Delaware. There'll be some good horses in there, but as I said yesterday, he's looking for a fight right now. He's going to get one in Delaware, but he's been looking for one for a couple of weeks now. So walking around with a little chip on his shoulder, and the way he's been racing, he's looking to do some damage. So hopefully we can get him to Delaware on Wednesday and do some damage with him. Should be a great week. I'm heading to Delaware in a minute for So and Sue, our little project for the fall. I really like her. Mama knows best. I'm a lovely lady. Directly after the race, I'm leaving to go to Kentucky. We'll have probably decisions to make with Unbeatable Kemp, and then I'll drive Blue Bayou Dio in the final of the Commonwealth, and then back to Delaware for Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm not sure what's going on Thursday yet. One way or another, I told Amy I'll be home probably either late Thursday night or in the afternoon, but I'll be coming home on Thursday, probably taking the last 2 Illinois breds and the last 2 Illinois breds and the New York bred filly Silent Assassin home with me also. We're starting to get some more horses in, obviously, with the 14 purchased in Delaware, or in Ohio with the select sale. So barn's filling up quite a bit here, and we're going to start filling it up in Ontario. A couple more horses to come in. I think, if I'm not mistaken, my count is up to 25 yearlings already. We'll talk about all of those, I think, in a little while. I still got to make the list, but we'll talk about all those in a little while, what I think of them, what my hopes are, how they look. I can't really comment that much on the 2 pacers that just came in. I haven't seen them yet, but I will very, very soon. So with that, everybody should be updated on everything going on of any consequence. Horses being turned out, horses that might be coming back in this week. We have some coming back in, and so on and so forth. I will talk to you very soon.